Thanks very much indeed, Amanda Walker, there for us in Moscow. Well, spies, whatever next. Charlotte's here with the rest of the day's news. Charlotte.
Thanks, Andrew. Good morning. Home Office budget cuts could severely impact police services. That's the warning from the President of the Association of Police Officers. He's expected to give at their annual conference later today. So Hugh Ord is expected to announce that the number next July. And congratulations to our very own Eamon Holmes. Take a look at these pictures of him with his new bride, Ruth. They got married at the weekend in Hampshire. And the couple said that some of their guests were amazed to be invited because they assumed that they were already married. And I know that he's watching this morning, so a big congratulations from all of us.
Indeed, indeed. And there I was wondering where he was. And all the time he was off there having fun. Good stuff. Well, congratulations to Eamon.
Definitely.
Let's take a look at what the front pages of the morning.
Sky News pollen count.
Hello again. Louisa Fletcher's here now to take us through the morning papers. And I know we don't want to concentrate entirely on football, but we might have to have a quick peek at it.
I'm going, at the risk of raising the wrath of the nation, can I just say, let's look at some of the front pages today. The Sun, sunny outlook in many areas, but depression over Heathrow. The Star, disgrace. The Independent, featuring a very melancholy Mr Capello with don't blame him, blame the players. Daily Mirror, what a joke. We have two players here. Is it Ashley Cole and Ledley King laughing and joking? Now, OK, I know and I appreciate the fact we're a very patriotic nation. It's lovely that we're all supporting the England football team. Fine. There's going to be a debate about, I don't know, line technology. There's going to be a debate about the management style. There's going to be a debate about everything. However, and this is where I get really angry, the jobs that we should be talking about here, people who we should be perhaps questioning whether or not they're doing a good management job, let's look at, for example, Commander Maxime de Bruyne. This lady is in charge of the Metropolitan Police. And as it stands at the moment, we have yet another case of a sex attacker being allowed to roam free. So why are we covering an England football team? They're now out the football. These are the sorts of stories that should be making front page headlines. Why are we not talking about it in more detail? Why is this being buried towards the back of the papers when we've got, you know, the spoilt sportsman walking off the plane with their pillowcase tucked under their arm?
With a pillow in it?
With a pillow, I mean, yeah. I mean, what's all that about? And yet we've got, you know, a repeat of the John Walboys situation, a sex attacker who's offended multiple times, 27 assaults. And yet we're not questioning enough in the news why this has been allowed to happen. Well,
what do you think? How many people in Britain do you think want to read about the World Cup still, and how many do you think would rather the papers went back to the news?
You know, it's a difficult one to call. I think, you know, we're all so wound up about the emotion of the football and the fact that we've yet again not performed. But I mean, let's face it, seriously, how many times have we won the World Cup, and do we really have the right as a nation to every year go, rah, football's coming home? Why? Obviously, I don't get it, clearly. But, you know, do we need, as journalists, to draw the line and go, we're out the cup, life returns to normal, there are more important news stories that need to be spoken about, and given the right for people to understand the ramifications of this, you know, should we not be questioning management of the police, for example?
No, fair point, absolutely fair point, well made. What else? We've got something else from the Mail as well today, haven't we, Louisa?
Yeah, so rant over about football. I promise I won't do it again. Moving swiftly on, we've been talking about the lovely weather we've been having, talking about the fact that, you know, we're in for perhaps some more good weather sometime soon. We're all very much encouraged these days, you know, as the Australians say, slip, slop, slap, sun cream, hat protection. But we have a ridiculous situation in South Wales where a school head has banned sun cream for children. So surely the one sector of society we should be protecting against early sunburn are being told, no, you can't bring sun cream to school. Now, on reading the story, it would appear that teachers are unsure and not particularly comfortable with rubbing sun cream on the arms of small children because obviously there are ramifications and that could lead to allegations of abuse. But as one mother says, you know, her children are 7, they're old enough to be able to do their arms and their legs themselves. So why on earth, and apparently this is not an isolated case, are schools saying, no, don't bring your sun cream to school? And then, contrasting that story, we have the front page of the Daily Express saying a young mother dies for a suntan. So on the one hand, we have schools saying, no, don't put sun cream on, we don't want you to do that, ignoring the fact that the efficacy of sun cream actually only lasts for 2 hours. So you should really be applying every 2 hours. So if you've got small children, you know, mid-morning break, lunch break, afternoon break, they should be putting cream on before those times. You know, let's get them instilled in habits early. And yet we have a situation here where a young mother who's 30, you know, and she, again, the education process wasn't embedded in her young enough. She's been going on sunbeds and tragically has died of skin cancer.
Indeed. Let's hope we find out whether or not it was actually the sunbed that did it. Louisa, thanks very much for the moment. We've got to press on with all the other information we've got flooding into us here on Sunrise. Charlotte, we've got some emails about the England return, I think.
Yeah, funnily enough, a lot of people still talking about England this morning, whether they want to or not. But Sheila Ketterer says, please stop defending the performance of the pathetic England football team. They're a disgrace to their country. They've let everyone down. Joan Cliff says, do they have no shame? They're laughing all the way home, not sparing a thought for all the supporters who spent a huge amount of money watching miserable performances. Hein Daber in Namibia says, come on, Brits, stop slating your football team. Where were they during the last World Cup? At home. Back Capello, he has an impeccable record with England leading up to the World Cup. And a quick final one from Dee Burkitt, who says, so the England players have arrived at Heathrow. Any chance we can tell them to go back? It's a bit unfair, isn't it?
Oh, it's easy to be cruel, isn't it, when you're just behind a computer miles away from whoever it is you're talking about. Oh, Lordy. Right. Sunbeds, children with sun cream. We're all starting to get a bit frightened this morning. The information's getting a bit scary.
It's
Lucy, reassure us that
reassure
us it's safe to go back outside. I think it was 19 degrees when I drove in this morning at 4
I know,
o'clock.
I came in shorts at 4:30. It was that warm. It's 20 degrees in London overnight. Not wall-to-wall sunshine today, so staying very warm, but not unbroken, hot, strong sunshine. There's going to be showers around to affect Wimbledon.
Amanda Walker there for us in Moscow. Now, Charlotte's here with the rest of the day. Charlotte, you haven't been off to any secret training schools in Moscow in the past,
I'm bugging every single word that you say, Andrew, so be very careful.
on my guard, as always.
Thanks very much. And within the last half an hour, of course, the England team have arrived back in Heathrow after being knocked out of the World Cup by Germany. And Jane Dougal is
July,
to
the
remind
first half, to remind yourself
exactly.
A career in marketing awaits, Charlotte. Thanks very much indeed. Let's take a look at what's on the front pages.
Sky News, Moscow.
Amanda Walker there on those extraordinary arrests in America of alleged Russian spies. Speaking of Russian spies, Louisa's still standing by to do the papers for us, and Charlotte's here with the rest of the day's news.
Thanks very much, Andrew. Well, Home Office budget cuts could severely impact police services. That's the warning from the President of Association of Police Officers. They're expected to be giving it at the annual conference later today. So Hugh Ord is expected to announce...